Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is Nights with Ping. Good to be back at the normal time slot of 9 o'clock for once. How is everyone in the chat? It was a big night last night. We were on till about midnight, something like that, talking about the Soto Guerra case. And they had this weird perp walk last night. If you missed it, I don't think anyone missed it. I think if you didn't watch it last night, you woke up in the morning and you saw it. We're going to talk about it a bit more tonight. It seems some more details have leaked out. There wasn't a lot of details last night. More like, this is who it is. Here's what they look like, and we can't really tell you much more than that. But there has been more details leaked out today. We will go through them. The only reason I was going to do it is because we started with this case over a week ago, like almost 2 weeks ago, and I felt obligated to continue on. I know Trish is also doing this topic tonight, so I'm sorry, Trish. I just felt like I had no choice because uh, we have to have an ending to it. So, how is everyone in the chat? I will say hello. Yep, another Maria is here. Danny Mitchell, the chat celebrity, is apparently, according to DJ, here's a scoop. DJ says Danny Mitchell was at a gala tonight. That is probably true, raising money for the whales or dolphins or something. I don't know. He's raising money for people or some sort of community group. He's always doing stuff like that. DJ, good day. Good to see you. Marilyn Landis. Woos is here. Shock made it. Amy made it. Peekaboo Cockatiel was here. Yes, she was here last night. Moonlight View's here. Hey, Moonlight View. I hope you are feeling much better. I really do. Uh, Marilyn Landis. Hey, how's it going? And Mel Mack, Amy 007, Nancy S. Hey, Nancy S. And Gizmo. The whole crew is here, and I'm sure more will show up in a minute. Let's get set up. Let's get set up. Let's get set up. Here we go. It's a very interesting page. It's just black. It's got no photos. There you go. There's a photo for your minds. These are the two suspects. Actually, that's a much better photo of the sun. Last night I was trying to pull some photos from the live stream, and the way they put the camera on him, it was very difficult to get a clear enough shot of him. The dad, no, but the other one, yes. All right. Where is my camera? It's here. Hey guys, we're still here, and I'm literally waiting on Amazon right now. They're coming as we speak. I thought they might be here before we started, but no, they're taking their time. They have my new Wi-Fi extender, so hopefully we can get into the back room and get the net in there, because there's no networking switches or anything in that room, so I can't just plug it into the wall and get internet. So we have to find a different option. Yes, hello, Amy. Good to see you. All right, let's have a look at this. I'll do a quick overview of this, then we're going to talk about the other subjects we have tonight, including police finding a head. Yes, they just found a head, just a single head. We'll talk about that. And a tenant who was killed by their landlord. I mean, that's every tenant's worst nightmare, isn't it? It says here, pregnant teen Savannah Soto and her boyfriend Matthew Guerrero were killed in a drug deal gone wrong, basically, according to police. The father and son were arrested in connection with the fatal shootings late Wednesday. That was yesterday. Christopher Pericardo, 19, was charged with capital murder. Christopher and his father, Ramon, were charged with his father was charged with abuse of a corpse and concealing human remains. That's interesting. We didn't hear that one last night, the concealing human remains. They just told us he was getting charged with abuse of a corpse. Finding out some more details about how the abuse of the corpse fits in will be interesting. I really hope he didn't do anything to the baby or something. That'd be horrible. It says here, the Sergeant Washington said Christopher did the killings. His father helped try hide the car and the victims. So obviously the son killed them and then freaked out that he committed three murders, including the baby. And then went, Dad, I need your help. I've killed 3 people. And his dad went, yeah, sure. That sounds like a nice, evening stroll. Let's go and hide 2 bodies and an unborn child. So Soto, 18, and Guerra, 22, went missing Christmas weekend. The couple were found days later, shot to death in Guerrera's car, prompting a hunt for their killer. We saw that CCTV footage of the two cars kind of lining up together. Something happens, and then they kind of split. After the bodies were found, Guerrera's family told police he was involved in selling drugs and often posted pictures on social media of the drugs and cash. They told police people wanted to rob the boyfriend, and it was stated that he had been shot at before. Charming. Christopher told police that Soto and Guerrero drove to his home to sell him marijuana. He said Guerrero pointed a weapon at him and that he shot Soto first and then Guerrero while wrestling for the gun. Does that sound likely to you? I just does that sound I don't know. Do you think this is a case of him trying to minimalize what he did? It's quite common criminals do this when they are busted for a crime, they will try paint themselves in a more positive light to law enforcement. That can be anything like this, where he said, "Well, they pulled a weapon on me first, and then I had to shoot them. They were going to kill me." Or it can be like, a bunch of other ways too. But they try and paint themselves in a more positive light, or self defense, something like that. That's almost what that sounds like. He's giving himself an out here by saying that Guerrera pointed the weapon at him first and that he shot Soto. Why did he shoot her first then? That's interesting. We'll find out. However, the affidavit states his story was inconsistent with Guerrera's and Soto's gunshot wounds, and that evidence collected at the crime scene was also different. Yes, because Guerrera had a point blank gunshot wound to his head. Soto also had a gunshot wound to her head as well. That doesn't really play out with a return fire at a weapon pointed at him and then a wrestling for a gun to also be shot in the same place. It sounds sort of unlikely because your body is more of a wider part of your structure. You have much more chance of being hit in your like torso, abdomen, legs, something like that, compared to your head, which is a much smaller target in a random occurrence like a fight where a gun goes off. So I don't know. It says I can never pronounce his last name. Pericados. Oh, there you go. You guys pronounce it better than me. Are believed to be the men seen in the undated video released last week by police. The footage shows Guerrero's vehicle and a black truck. A man resembling Ramon can be seen getting out of the truck and talking to someone in Guerrero's vehicle. He then took off. He then took a white towel and wiped the car door before they both drove off. Got to wipe down your fingerprints. I mean, don't worry about cell phone signals, anything else like that that could track you to the scene. Just make sure they don't have fingerprints. It'll get you out of the crime. It says here, this is what he told us in front of the cameras last night. He said, always fake news. Your guys are always one sided. You don't even know what's going on. Okay. So somehow your son shot and killed two people and an unborn child, and you helped cover it up, but we all have the wrong idea. Somehow we all misunderstand and it's some sort of fake news. Let me guess. It was actually a murder suicide. You came across it during the drug deal and that you tried to save him. No. See, you can't twist that story. It's just sort of how it is. Police believe that Soto and Guerrero were already dead inside the vehicle at the time the video was taken. Makoso said that they were killed December 21st, just before midnight. Makoso said that among the evidence recovered from the car was Soto's cell phone, that police were able to use the phone to locate the suspect's vehicle after they found the truck. They set up surveillance to determine where the suspects lived. Once they did, they knocked on the door. And he said the father answered and knew why police were there. The suspects were cooperative. That's very interesting. I find that interesting that they just knew police were going to get to them eventually. Um, Nancy S says she's not buying it. No, me either. It sounds like downplaying their role. Here, thank you, Potter, my language expert. So if you guys don't know, Potter is now my language expert. Preziato, there you go. Thank you. I heard it on the news last night. I don't know why I couldn't replicate it. Yeah, fake news. I don't understand how it's fake news, but okay. We'll find out. Let me see if anyone else has. Here. Burnt Popcorn says the father probably freaked when he saw himself on camera. Well, I don't know because a lot of people, including me, I know the press release said they're looking for two males, but I wrote and said that I thought it was a female, and so did other people. So I know that's a horrible. It must be some sort of a unconscious bias stereotype or something that when we looked at that image, we automatically saw a female. But yeah, I don't know if he freaked. Well, he probably freaked knowing that they had video, but I don't know if about everyone knowing it was him because I know a lot of people thought it was a woman. So there you go. Soto and Guerrero were killed elsewhere before the car was abandoned with the bodies at an apartment complex in the South Texas Medical Center area, about 3 miles from where the couple were last seen. The apartments are a few blocks away from Preciado home. The Preciado, is I saying it right now? There we go. Many names thrown out there. They didn't have anything to do with these murders, he said. What? Moscoso said misinformation had been blowing up online and that the two arrested were the only suspects they were looking for. Many names had been thrown out there online, but they didn't have anything to do with these murders. I'm not sure. I didn't see a ton of speculation on names. I'm not sure where that was happening. I mean, I saw a little bit on Reddit and a little bit on Facebook, but I didn't see it wasn't like, the Boston Marathon thing where they're like, it's that guy, let's all get him. And it was like a completely different guy. I saw some people sort of saying, well, he sort of looks like that guy or that guy, but maybe I missed it. It says here, Soto and Guerrero's families immediately went to social media to express relief. Let me read this. It says, they caught the MFs that killed our babies. Justice for Savannah, baby Fabian, and Matthew. That was posted from Soto's mother, Gloria. Ra- Raquel Guerrero's stepmother, posted, our prayers have been answered. She tagged the post with Justice for Savannah, Matthew Fabian. There we go. And she said, yes, thank you, Jesus. Texted Mariana Delgado, Soto's sister-in-law. And this was the Facebook post that happened last night. I'll see if I can put it up. Came up like we got on real late, and then this popped up last night about 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. Eastern or Central, something like that. And it was the update in the arrest, and that unfortunately they removed the video. The video of the purple got removed from this Facebook page. I came here last night to try and download it. I was trying to download it actually, um, and I couldn't find it. Look, see, it's gone. I'll show you. Hey, there we go. It's gone. Sorry, the mic's playing up. There we go. It's gone. It's not on here anymore. They took it down. I do have a copy of it if people want to watch it, but we don't have to. Shock says there's a lot of large guys here in San Antonio. You know, I did see a couple people comment on that at one point. What's that in the middle? I have no idea. What's that in the middle? I'm not sure what she's talking about. Potter, what do you mean, what's that in the middle? This thing on the page? I think it's just a Happy New Year's thing. Hold on, guys. Hold on, people. Sorry. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get interrupted. Down. Yeah. I don't know. I think these are just other videos from them. Oh, here. There it is. Oh, There we go. I can have a look at it if you guys haven't already seen it. I'll look at the pictures but I was trying for us to use. This is a much better quality. Hold on. This is much better than the TV station one. Their one was really jerky last night. There we go. You can see the father walk out. Yeah, I found it. It's up on the screen now. You guys can see it. This is way better. The live stream last night was terrible. Kept freezing on us and kept jumping around. We couldn't hear what the guy was saying. There we go. We can have a look. This is much higher resolution. This woman that you can hear saying like, "Are you like? Do you have anything to say to the family?" I don't know if this audio seems to be much quieter of the suspect, the dad. Not as loud as the one from last night.
Watch out, guys. Make a hole.
I have to ask people from Texas, is this common to see a perp walk like this? I can't remember seeing one.
Está saliendo el segundo.
And here's the son. He didn't really say anything. The son said much less than his dad. Yeah, this is definitely much higher quality than the one we had last night. You can actually tell like a lot more details, less skipping than last night's one. That's basically it. That was what we waited like 40 minutes for last night. Melanda said everything is bigger in Texas. That is true. Hey, Catatonic, good to see you. Potter says, I think they try ask really inflammatory questions to evoke a response. I'm sure it's a ploy. Yeah, but that woman, that one that kept asking, like, what about the baby or what about the unborn child? Last night on the live stream, you couldn't hear his responses correctly because she kept shouting over the microphone. I know it's her job, but it made listening to the perp walk and everything else very difficult because she was just like screaming over the rest of the reporters. I mean, the other reporters, I don't think they got a word in. She was just like, "Tell us about the baby. What do you think? Do you have anything to say? Do you want to say anything to the family? What about the unborn child?" She kept just screaming over everyone else. Flying DJ says in reference to large guys in San Antonio many years ago, I think San Antonio was honored to be the fattest city in the US. Not sure they rank now. I think they've said stuff like that in Australia too. that, I don't know, some state is the fattest state in Australia, that we're starting to turn into. Sorry to our American friends when I say this, we're starting to turn into the USA, and everything is oversized, and everyone over 45 plus is obese and stuff. They do that down here. Um, but I think for the most part, Australians are fairly fit people because of the life we live down here. For the most part, most people get some exercise, get outdoors. I know it does still have its problems, but I guess when you live in a country with such sparse population and places between cities, people do get a lot of exercise. Um, Potter says this year the McAllen, Edinburgh Mission metro area of Texas was the most overweight city in the United States. I don't know what causes it. I've heard some people say it's like poor diet, large serving sizes, and cheap takeaway food. Like takeaway food's quite cheap in America compared to here. Hey Penguin, how are you? I don't know if you saw last night's show, Penguin, but I said thank you for your New Year's Eve donation last night. I don't know if you missed it. Wanted to make sure you didn't think I was ignoring you. Hey, Legal Hunting from Austin, Texas. Hey, this is from your neck of the woods, sorta. I'm sure you watched this on your local news last night. Let's see if we have more information. Let's see. It says here, at the time of her death, Soto was working in an elder care home. She was due to give birth to a baby boy the weekend before Christmas. She had already given him a name, Fabian. It would be her first child. She had celebrated with friends and family members at a baby shower. Photos from the event show Soto and Guerra in a room filled with white, green, and gold balloons in front of a poster that declared, "It's a boy." Soto was scheduled to be admitted to Stone Oak Methodist Hospital at 6:30 a.m. December 23rd to have labor induced. She never showed up and calls to her cell phone went unanswered. That evening, her mother posted a message to Facebook pleading for help in finding her daughter. Well, judging by the information that the police gave out, they said they died December 21st, just before midnight, right? Is that what they said? Yes, killed December 21st, just before midnight. So that means they were dead for at least, what, 2 day and a half, 2 days before she was due to be in hospital, something like that. Or like, what is it, 24, like 30 hours or something like that. 30 hours before she was supposed to give birth. Really, really horrible. I don't think it, I think when people die in violent murders, it's sad anyway. But the fact that that life was supposed to be brought into the world just hours like later is especially heart wrenching. And I don't know. I've seen some people online asking, like, what were they doing out just before midnight, so close to the inducement date, like the day she was supposed to be induced in hospital? And shouldn't she be at her home resting and getting ready for hospital? And I don't know. That's not our thing to talk about. Hold on, guys. It's Amazon. Hold on. Entertain yourselves. We're back. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I am really sorry. I don't like leaving it that long. Maybe we'll get an unboxing. No, it was an Amazon guy, the wrong one. He came to do a pickup of something that had to be returned, and then he's like, "Oh, I only have one parcel to pick up," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's a dual parcel, two things in the one." Like it's two boxes, but it's the same order, if that makes sense. And he's like, "No, no, no, I can only take one." That's why it took so long because he was supposed to be here for like a minute. And he's arguing with me. He's like, "No, mate, I only have to take one." And I'm like, "Mate, it's the same order. Why would you split it up? I know it's in two boxes, but you have to take both to complete the one order." And I don't know. Eventually he took it, he checked it, and he's like, "Oh, it's got the same order number." And I'm like, "Yes, because it's the same thing." Anyway, they took it. Oh, is Alicia here? Leisha, hey, my dear. Your message yesterday was extremely kind, and thank you very much for the donation. That was really sweet of you, and your message was very, 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 very nice. Getting sweet messages from everyone. All right, let's get back to the show. More true crime. Interruptions over, I think. The other guy should just drop off the parcel in my mailbox with the Wi-Fi extender and that. We shouldn't get a knock at the door or my mobile. Give me 1 second and I'll get the news story up. All right, there we go. All right, let's talk about random heads. No, I didn't say random heads. That's a different show. That's an OnlyFans show. Don't be so sick. You are sick people. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's find this story. You guys are that getting deliveries halfway through shows gets me all in a lose my place. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't know where I am. Where is it? No? Uh-huh. From our friends at Crime Online, we'd like to use them, but we're going to go to a different link in a second. It says on Wednesday, Ohio investigators discovered a head and other body parts not far from where an unidentified torso was found in November. WCPO reported the officials have not determined whether the head found belongs to a woman whose naked torso was recovered from a tree line in Cincinnati on November 5th. Hamilton County Coroner Lakshmi Samarko previously said it believed the woman was dismembered after she died. Her death occurred days before a passerby discovered her torso. According to WXIX, the coroner believes the deceased woman is a black woman in her 20s or 30s. She may have been pregnant 3 years ago, but it is unclear whether she gave birth. That's a really specific. Is that some sort of like her muscles, like when a woman is pregnant, like the muscles separate or something like that? Are they able to tell after she died? That's really interesting that she may have been pregnant within the last 3 years, but it's unclear whether she gave birth. That's interesting. Though officials have dismissed rumors of a serial killer, they have not yet determined whether the body parts discovered on Wednesday are from a different victim. Anyone with information regarding the case is urged to call Cincinnati Police Department or the coroner's office at 946 8700. That's weird. Let's have a bit of a look into this. I would like to know how that works. Let's see. Share this one. It says here the coroner, FBI, CPD recovered head among remains found while investigating dismembered woman found in November. Let's have a look at this. Is that a video? Yes. Play us the video.
For answers, turns up gruesome new evidence. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Craig McKee. Tanya is off. Crews found body parts in North Fairmount this morning. WCPO 9 News reporter Valerie Lyons is live in North Fairmount tonight. So, Valerie, the search is tied to the discovery of a dismembered body back in November.
Craig, investigators found a woman's torso in a wooded area here behind me. But now, just like back then, they still don't know who she is. And while today's discovery could be a major break in the case, the Hamilton County coroner says these body parts might not even be a part of the same person.
I couldn't tell you if they were male or female.
But they're body parts, and crews found them Wednesday morning.
This is where the investigation continues.
The discovery comes after a renewed search for clues. Investigators hoping to find anything that might lead them to an identity of a young Black woman dismembered and tossed away.
Obviously, this is a very disturbing scene.
That was on November 5th in a wooded area near Baltimore Avenue and Liddell Street. And there's few details about the victim. The Hamilton County coroner says she was probably late 20s to early 30s, about 5 feet tall, with no scars, birthmarks, or tattoos. And she had been pregnant at least once.
We appealed to the public for help, and it's been over a month, and we really hadn't gotten many leads. So we're hoping that this will bring some closure to the case, and of course, this will take some time.
But Lakshmi Samarko says if not closure to this case, perhaps to another.
Whether these body parts are associated with the body that was found November 5th or other cases that we're working on.
Samarko says there's been several dismembered bodies in the county in recent years, and her team must now determine.
Sorry, what? Did you hear that? That was very blasé. Oh, there's been several dismembered bodies in the county for, over the last couple of years. That's no big deal. People find them, often walking down the street, find a finger. Walking down the street, find a head. Didn't say they're from the same person. It just happens in this county. That was a bit, then they're trying to say there is no serial killer. No, there is no serial killer. Go about your business. This is a safe town. You have no reason to be afraid. Don't worry about the dismembered bodies. They cannot hurt you. It is all good. I mean, are we getting too desensitized to dead dismembered people? Like, I mean, I'd freak out if I found that. I mean, let alone a head. I'd be like, oh my God, it's someone's like toe. And I'd be like, I found the key to the serial killer. They might be able to solve it now. Leisha, I saw. That's what I was saying before. That's what I was saying thank you for before. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Leisha. I did receive it, and I appreciate it. It's very, very nice of you. It's very, I'm very grateful. Yeah, I just thought that was such a weird way for her to say it on the news. Listen again. We'll finish this video.
Determine who these newly found body parts belong to.
It could be local or it could be out of state. We're not really sure at this point.
But if it is the woman found in November, it's now likely a national search. Cincinnati Police Captain Steve Saunders says his investigators have run down every lead, and she doesn't match to any local missing person.
We are working with the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations division to help look at possible genealogy, so historic DNA for the person that was located here, to see if we can maybe find information along that path. But that, I'll be honest, that takes a while to get that information back. And
multiple agencies were out here today. CPD's homicide unit, the FBI, even Buckeye Search and Rescue Dogs, a volunteer nonprofit. And they did primarily focus their search on this street before fanning out. And the coroner says there could potentially be more body parts yet to be found. And so investigators are out.
Again with this lady. It's not like a scavenger hunt. We're not out here going, all right, everyone, get the kids up early tomorrow. We're out scavenger hunting for body parts. I mean, like, she almost sounded like it was an Easter egg hunt. She's like, there could still be more out here to be found. You might be the lucky one. You might find an arm. I mean, what is going on with this news channel? I don't get it.
Asking if you have any information that can help them in this case or possibly with any of these other similar cases, that you call Crime Stoppers anonymously and let them know. But for now, live in North Fairmount, Valerie Lyons, WCPO 9 News.
Okay, I'm glad we finished that. I'm very glad. Nalana says, why go after the innocent kids? She says, I'm late tonight. You know, we're missing Laura G. I still think she's quite cross at me for yelling at her ravens. She'll be all right. I'll message her. She says, here, I'm late tonight. Did you all talk about the school shooting that happened today? I didn't even see a school shooting. I didn't even see one. I didn't even see anything about it. It's not on the news down here. WCPO in Cincinnati. Yeah. There you go. The Bengals are on the screen. The Bengals who probably won't make the playoffs. Hold on, guys. Sorry, everyone's disturbing us tonight, aren't they? It's like anytime I do a show and I'm like, it's going to be a great show, everyone wants to disturb us. Okay, hold on. I want to read a little bit more about this, then we'll talk about the school shooting. Share this. It says the more body parts found.
She had a mother and a father.
Stop. It says more body parts found as FBI police continue dismembered body investigation. You would have to think with the FBI being involved, they must have an inkling or a feeling that there's something going on here, because normally when body parts show up, they don't normally call in the FBI. I mean, that's normally something that they think is multi-state, underage, federal. It's not. It's not something that dead people have. Unfortunately, are murdered or found quite often, and it's a little bit weird that they're brought in the FBI. It says here, Cincinnati detectives are left with many unanswered questions and not enough evidence in the homicide case of an unknown woman whose torso was found in a wooded area 2 months ago. On Wednesday, the Cincinnati Homicide Unit and the FBI Evidence Response Team continued their search in the 1600 block of Baltimore Avenue, where the woman's body was found by a passerby on November 5th, 2023. More body parts were found in the area where investigators were searching, according to Hamilton County Coroner. However, it's unclear if the body parts are from the same victim. That is disturbing. Is there a serial killer out there that's just sprinkling remains into the woods and like waiting for the cops and the FBI to be like, oh, they found another one? They're trying to say there's no serial killer. They're like, it's completely all good. It's just one person. I think it's disturbing. If that was my area, I'd probably be very scared. It says here, obviously, this is a very disturbing scene for the neighbors in this area, for the Cincinnati community, for anybody. I know I've been in law enforcement for 33 years and I have not seen anything of this nature. Yeah, I bet. It says here, Cincinnati police are working with local, state, and federal agents to determine who the victim is by checking missing person reports from all over to see if there is a Cincinnati connection. They also said in that last video that they're going to be looking at genetic genealogy. To already jump to that step after only being like, 8 weeks or something, they must really be at a dead end. And sorry, I don't mean to use that word as a pun or anything. I just mean they must really have not a lot of evidence or pathways to go somewhere else in the investigation. They said, and I quote, I think once we do determine who the victim is, that will open up the investigation wide open. So we're trying to do that as best we can. That's why we're out here today. Let's have a look at the area. It is very woody and kind of foresty, isn't it? Like the woods is what I would call it. So yeah, it says additional body parts were found by the FBI and CPD. That's concerning. Because it couldn't be someone like as sad as it is, it couldn't be someone like a hit and run victim, could it? Like, I know it sounds terrible, but hit and run victims sometimes lose body parts from being hit, like hit by a truck or something, and maybe someone didn't want their crime being found, so they moved the body parts into the woods. I don't know if that's like something that could have happened. I don't know. It says here the police are also working with the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations for the possible genealogy DNA test. However, Captain Saunders says it can take a while to get the test results back. And it says they have several agencies helping. Oh, this is where we're getting into the serial killer. It says debunking the serial killer rumor. People had a frenzy on social media about the possibility of a serial killer in the greater Cincinnati area after hearing about the body found in North Fairmont. They said their media partners at Cincinnati Enquirer reported in November, but police in Hamilton County Coroner's Office quickly debunked that. 2 months later, Captain Saunders continues to say the same. He says, I do want to reassure people that when this happened, there was a lot of rumors and speculation that there's a serial killer or something like that associated, and that this is more than one time. This is the only instance that this has happened in Cincinnati. Okay, well, that's not going to be true if those tests come back and those body parts are not the same person. That's not going to be true, is it? It's going to end up being, well, it only happened twice in the same area. We'll find out if the DNA test comes back soon. It says here, what do we know about the victim? Hamilton County Coroner said they listed a few of the woman's characteristics during a press conference back in 2023. That she was a black woman who was possibly in her late 20s to early 30s, who was pregnant about 3 years ago, but they do not know if the child was born. It is believed that the woman died on November 3rd or 4th and was dismembered afterward. Ugh, this case is really creepy. Really creepy. Let's have a look. Potter64 said the reporter said otherwise. I know, right? The proofreading between the articles is not fantastic. It's not great. Burnt Popcorn says sounds like a serial killer. I know. I mean, unfortunately, there have been people who have been killed and dismembered, and it's like a one-time thing. Like they just killed someone and they dismembered them. It has happened, so that doesn't make it a serial killer. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll find out. Gambler says Tuesday UPS tried to deliver someone else's order from the street over. I was expecting supplies for my mum, but box was too small. After I signed, thinking maybe they sent. Did you return it? Did you or did you go drop it off to the person whose order it was, Mr. Gambler? Danny Mitchell, what do you say here, my friend? Killed a 6th grade. I don't know what that means. An IED. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh, you guys are talking about the shooter. 2 guns and an IED. He killed a 6th grader, shot 4 others, and took his own life. This didn't even make it on the news here. I didn't even hear anything about a school shooting. Yeah. Police say 17-year-old killed a 6th grader and wounded 5 others in an Iowa school shooting. How terrible. Oh, Perry High School. Okay. Yeah. They're saying that.
Let's get right to Ron. He's got a breaking.
Okay. Police said there are multiple victims after a teenager began shooting at a school in Midwestern U.S. state of Iowa. It is thought that one person has died. Sorry, this thing's playing up. Officers swarmed Perry Middle and High School in the town of Perry, 61 kilometers from Des Moines, Iowa, 7:40 a.m. local time. It's not known if the shooter was a student of the school. The condition of the victims is unclear, but it is being reported there is at least one fatality. Several people are said to be taken to hospital in Des Moines. Our heart breaks for the victims of the families of the victims in yet another act of senseless gun violence. CBS News reported that some parents were being turned away from the school and didn't know where their children were. That must be a horrible feeling for those parents, like trying to race to the school. Because you know what it would be like? You'd send your kids to school, then you'd be watching like the morning news or something, and then you'd hear there's a school shooting in, whatever your local town is, and you'd be like, please don't be my kid's school, please don't be my kid's school. And then they're like, Perry Middle and High School, and you're like, oh my God, that's my kid's school. And then you'd like quickly grab your stuff, race out of the house, and just start driving. I don't think you'd even try call anyone. You just drive. And I mean, then you get to the scene and you get told, "Hey, we can't let you through, and we don't know where your kid is." I can't imagine the emotions for those parents when they get told they can't go through. They yeah, I can't. It just must be so hard. They're saying they just now working backwards trying to figure out everything that has happened and make notifications. Perry School incident is the second school shooting in the US in 2024, coming just 4 days into the new year. That's the second one? Really? There was another one already? Let's have a look. Hold on first. Here, it says, first school shooting of 2024 leaves 1 dead, 5 injured. Wait, this one says this is the first school shooting of 2024. That other link says it's the second. Hold on. Maybe this is a bad source. Just trying to see if there's another source for whatever the first school shooting is. Yeah, school shootings by country in 2024. No, that's not a good link. I can't see anything about a previous school shooting because everything on here basically is for today. So maybe that's not correct. Unless someone in the chat has an idea of what the first school shooting would be, if there was another one. Yeah, that's what it says. I'll show you. See? It says here. The Perry School incident is the second school shooting in the US in 2024, coming just 4 days into the new year. So what was the first one? It doesn't even quote what the first one might be. It says here that the surrounding streets are still remain blocked off for Perry High School. All classes have been cancelled for the day. Sorry, Mrs. Ping is writing about something. Let's see if anyone knows in the chat. Nanalana, have fun. Go pick up your daughter. Be safe. Yeah, I have no idea what the first one is. Danny Mitchell says, imagine the Uvalde parents. Yeah. Potter64 says, the cops patted themselves on the back for getting there in 7 minutes, by which time it was all over. That's a pretty slow response time, isn't it, to a shooting? Isn't it like 4 minutes and under is supposed to be the golden, rule or something like that? Yeah, if anyone knows, please put it in the chat if you have any idea what the first one of the year is, because I haven't seen anything, and I guess I didn't see this one either. But yeah, hold on. I was just checking another link, and I couldn't. It's not showing me anything for another school. First school shooting of 20. Let's see if Education Week has anything. It does say 2 school shootings with injuries or death on Education Week. Oh, I get it. Are they counting that Perry High School is a middle and and high school? Are they saying that that is 2 different schools? Is that what is going on? Let's have a look. No. Okay, here there's a list. Here, I'll show you. There's the Perry High School one from today. And then there's one here in Manchester, Midlothian. We know in Virginia. An 18-year-old male was shot in the parking lot while a basketball game was in progress on the 3rd of the 1st. That was yesterday. Let's have a look. 18-year-old shot. Okay. Manchester High School. Oi, Rory. Crying like that. What are you doing, girl? Let's have a look. They said there is a juvenile that's been arrested in shooting outside Manchester High School. It says here, Chesterfield County Police announced Thursday that they arrested a 15-year-old suspect in the shooting at Manchester High School on Wednesday. Officers responded to a residence in the 5800 block of Cedar Springs Lane in Mechanicsville about 4:37 p.m. Wednesday for reports of an injured person at the scene. Officers located an adult male suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. The victim was transported to a hospital with injuries that were not considered life-threatening. Investigators determined that the suspect and the victim, who are known to each other, had arranged to meet at Manchester High School, located at 12601 Bailey Bridge Road in Midlothian, to fight. When they arrived, the suspect fired a gun into the victim's vehicle, striking the victim. The victim fled the scene before stopping at a residence on Cedar Springs Lane to call for help. Detectives requested and obtained juvenile petitions for the suspect on charges of malicious wounding and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. The suspect is being held at Chesterfield Juvenile Detention Home. The incident remains under investigation. I know that happened at a school, but that wouldn't be what I would traditionally consider a school shooting. I don't know if that is the same to you. I know it's a gun crime at a school, but I wouldn't call it a school shooting. Rory, calm down, girly. You already had your lunch. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a school shooting, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's just a shooting at a school campus, if that makes sense. All right. Moonlight View. Potter says January 4, Louisiana Baton Rouge. It's a shooting. Yeah, we found it. It's okay. It's not that one. Oh, there was though. Baton Rouge, Greenwell Street. Let's have a look. I don't know what that one's in reference to. Oh, these are just mass shootings, not a school shooting. Number of victims 1, victims injured 3. These I know they're still victims, but these only just qualify for a mass shooting. I think a mass shooting has to be 3 or more victims. Hold on. Rory. It was a drive-by shooting. Okay. I know Rory's being a jerk. I'm not sure why. She just wants. Hey. All right. I want to go back to this for a second. What time is it? We've got a little time. I want to go back and look at that Cincinnati thing. Hold on. I want to know what they mean by she was found in a tree line. Let's have a look at this.
The familiar sounds of passing cars. A regular find here in this corner of North Fairmount. But just days ago, this quiet stretch was marred by a gruesome discovery.
She had been dismembered.
The body of a black woman left in this wooded area off Baltimore Avenue. Someone found her Sunday morning, and yet, as of Tuesday, officials still can't name her.
We've not had a case quite like this where there's so little information on the remains that we don't even know which direction to go.
Here's what the Hamilton County coroner does know. The woman hadn't been dead long. Someone killed her either late Friday or early Saturday before dismembering her. She's petite, about 5 feet tall, probably late 20s to early 30s. She has no tattoos, no scars, no birthmarks, but she has had at least one child.
If this is true, and that she was killed shortly before being dismembered and dumped, there's a crime scene somewhere. Somewhere there's a really, really bloody crime scene. Like somewhere within that town. And there's a good chance they will never find it now because it's so much time has passed, 2 months. Whoever or wherever it was done, it's probably been cleaned up by now. I mean, yeah, poor lady. I mean, I can't. Well, they've already sent her DNA off for genetic genealogy, so maybe that's where they sent it. Maybe. Let's listen to the rest.
She did not have any clothing or jewelry, so there was nothing identifiable there either.
Though the woman was found here, the coroner says she could be from anywhere. Northern Kentucky, Indiana, maybe even as far as Cleveland. And that is why investigators are asking for help. You see, there are no fingerprints or teeth to scan, so identifying her is proving almost impossible right now.
If you're missing a loved one, please give us a call. If you haven't heard from them and you normally would have a phone call or an interaction with them every couple of days.
Officials say they know how the woman died, but they won't share that right now. They want to know who she is first. And though the details are few,
Somebody must be missing her.
they're hoping they're enough. In North Fairmount, Valerie Lyons, WCPO 9 News.
I mean, we just had New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving that this person missed. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just had 3 major public holidays that this person didn't attend. So, there must be someone who was missing the person. At least. Danny Mitchell says, must have a smaller child. You must have a smaller child? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that means, Danny, but be careful. We don't need another serial killer. Yeah, Alicia says needed lots of privacy to dismember. I mean, they would have to be nearby too, you would think. They didn't say they found any plastic bags. They didn't say anything like that type of thing. Like she wasn't bound in anything. They just found body parts. So there's got to be somewhere like there's, I don't know, something like that. There's got to be crime scene evidence, blood somewhere, wherever she was taken, moved from, put into, that type of thing. Some kid's mum, okay, yeah. Well, they said within 3 years. So the child could be a maximum of 3 years old. So it would be a young child, but they're not sure if she had the child or she was just pregnant at some point. Moonlight View says that this, yeah, must have a small child. Yeah. Right. They know, so some torso-related injury. How would you know? That's what I wanna know. How would you know? Is there some sort of I know that when women are pregnant, the muscles separate to allow for the baby to grow. Maybe that takes a certain amount of time to heal. Wha Did you just hear that? Like, Rory, what is going on with you today, girl? Um, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I know the muscles separate, so maybe it takes a certain amount of time for those to eventually heal. I don't know. I'm not a gynecologist. I have no not not professionally anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Jojo says C-section scar. I'm thinking that's a good point. That's a good one. Yeah, something like that. That's what I'm thinking, Laura G. Hold on, I have to go see what she wants. Hold on. Sorry, it's been a very stop and start show tonight. It's very sinister, Danny. I'm gonna make note of every night you're here. I'm gonna note it down. It's very sinister, Danny. Leisha says, I wonder if there's a different yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That there has to be something like that. C-section, something. Something that would tell them. I have no idea what these two are being jerks today, but Rory and her brother are both being very jerky. Yeah, Lux, we're still on. Why? What time is it? Am I supposed to be off? No, we've got a little bit of time. Your pelvic bones widen. I think that might be what I'm thinking of. Stretch marks on stomach. That's a good point too. What did they say? Yeah, well, they found her torso. So maybe something like that. Even guys get stretch marks on their tummy. Yeah, she's normally a really quiet cat. You guys never hear her. You'll hear Muffin and he'll come up here and jump around but she's the quiet one and she just sleeps. It's when she gets like the skitsy thing and she gets the zoomies, and that's what she was just doing. She was like running around and up in the bedrooms and back again and out to the backyard and back again. She's doing her like cat, we call it the cat Olympics because they jump over stuff and they run around and they go on a track and yeah. You don't hear Rory? Really? She was screaming just before. Hey, Lula, Augusto, how are you? Uterus stretches and even though it shrinks, it never goes back to normal. Hips widen, birth canal, our bodies change incredibly. Many ways to tell. Well, originally they found a torso. We don't quite know what that means, whether it's a full torso or you know, from the groin to the neck or something, we don't know. Let's see. She could be from anywhere, like the report says. Could be. But you would think that maybe we just had 3 of the biggest holidays of the year, didn't we? Someone is missing that person. And look, I know there's a lot of people that don't have family or they are estranged from their family over Christmas. But you would have to think that, you know, someone is missing a phone call or someone is missing an email from them over New Year's or Christmas or their Facebook friends, something like that. I'm sure even people that don't have family still have people they talk to online. Like someone might be missing her. Even Facebook friends or on Twitter or something or a chat room. So if that sounds like someone you know, and they frequent that area or a surrounding area, maybe you have some information for the police department in Cincinnati. All right. Let me check one more link on this because there was one more. I wanted to see if they would tell us what the tree line, more about that, and where the other ones were found. All right, hold on. Let me see if we can find more information. Fox 25 in Columbus. Well, you can see, look at this actually. You can see how deep into that wooded area the FBI investigators are, right? Like that takes a look. Wild animals could have scattered some of her remains between November and January. Like it's very possible that wild animals could have moved some of these remains around. Um, Maybe that's what happened, but that's quite deep into the wooded area, right? Like she's not exactly on the verge or anything. She's at least like a bunch of trees back. Um, they've not had time to confirm if the head is from the same person. Apparently, they don't even know her age or if she's from the area due to the condition of her body. They have very little to go on. They said that we've collected everything in the vicinity. We also did a CT scan of the head in our office. We are able to compare those images to the CT scan of the body from November, so that gives us some additional information. The head was found a few blocks away off Suda Avenue, according to Samarco. They expected to do additional searches of the area to look for more body parts. The torso was that of a black female 20 to 30 years old. She was petite, about 5 foot, 120 pounds. Oh, this has more of a definite timeline. They also believe the woman had a child just in the last year or two, not 3 years, a year or two, and may have even had an infant. A search team will be out in the area again on Friday to continue to look for more body parts. So they're going to be back out there tomorrow. We may even get some more news tomorrow about this. We'll see if they come up with anything else during their search tomorrow. Wu says we are estranged from our mum for over 40 years. That's a long time. Yeah, Potter says that is far more precise. Yeah, a year or two is better than anywhere between 3 years and now. Yeah, 1 to 2 years. Rohan. I don't know who this is. Rohan Dennis. Aussie gold medalist Rohan Dennis charged over wife former Olympian and professional cyclist Melissa Hoskins. No, I think I saw it in the paper, but apparently Rohan Dennis, an Australian Olympian, world cycling champion Rohan Dennis has been arrested and charged over the death of his wife. Police allege Dennis was driving a ute that struck his wife, former Olympian and professional cyclist Melissa Hoskins, just meters from out the front of their family home in Adelaide. Hoskins and Dennis have 2 young children. Emergency services were called to the scene in the luxurious North Adelaide suburb of Mendindi around 8 p.m. on Saturday. Hoskins, 32, was found with serious injuries and rushed to the Royal Adelaide Hospital. Wow. She died from her injuries in hospital. Detectives and major crash officers arrested Dennis and have charged the 2-time cycling time trial world champion with causing the death by driving dangerously, driving without due care, and endangering life. He has been bailed to appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court on March 13th. Dennis, 33, won gold at last year's Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, having won bronze in the men's individual time trial at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. He announced his retirement earlier this year, thanking Hoskins in his message to fans. So what, did he hit her on purpose? And how did she get hit by the car? Just meters from out the front of their family home. Were they having a fight and he took off in the car and accidentally hit her? Like she chased after him and then he accidentally reversed and killed her or something? This is weird. How do you hit your own wife in the car? Meters from the family home. Let's have a look. Just trying to see if there's anything in this statement here. It's interesting that her family didn't mention the husband at all. Like, if this was some big accident, the family would still be like, "Oh, and we're thinking of her husband at this time. What a terrible thing to go through." Um, oh, hey, actually, I remember this. Laura Harworth has not been seen for 16 years. Police think Canberra's Summernats community could help crack the case. I remember this story. That Summernats is like a big, like souped up, car burnout thing that they normally, like a festival where all the big petrol heads come together and do burnouts and who's got the coolest, drag racing car or burnout car or, souped up Commodore or whatever. And they do these big donuts and there's girls with no tops on and lots of booze and, that type of thing. But I remember that they keep appealing to the Summernauts crowd about information about Laura. They're saying, on this date in 2008, 23-year-old Laura left her friend's Queanbeyan house and her loved ones have not seen or heard from her since. The weekend Miss Harworth went missing coincided with the 21st Summernats Car Festival in Canberra. That has prompted ACT policing to appeal to both Canberrians and Summernat attendees who were here 16 years ago to cast their mind back for any information about it, no matter how big or small. It's possible that there was someone who attended Summernats 2008 from interstate, and they might have seen something regarding Laura's whereabouts that they don't even realize. Senior Constable Pugsley on Friday urged the Summernats community to have conversations about who attended the 2008 event and whether someone might have information about the missing persons case. She did not indicate whether police believe the link between Miss Hayworth's disappearance and Summernats 2008 ran any deeper than the fact they occurred on the same weekend. I've heard this appeal before, and I suspect the police either know she went to the event or someone has given them information saying that she met someone and went to that event, or there's some bigger connection there. They wouldn't just keep asking this all the time for no reason. I don't believe that they would just keep linking these two events together unless they had something they were very convinced could help them. Because there's events on every weekend. They'd be like, "Oh, there's a missing 18-year-old child from Melbourne, but we'd like to ask everyone who was at the opera on Saturday night whether they saw a child 30 kilometers away." Like, it doesn't make any sense. There would have to be some connection there, even if they don't want to admit it to the media. It says here on Saturday, January 5th, 2008, I want to say Hayworth, but it's Harworth, left her friend's house in a red Mazda 121 before her car was later found in Canangra Court car park in Reed in ACT's north. But a police search of the area at the time was unable to locate the woman. In a statement released on Friday, her family said The pain of not knowing what has happened to Laura is brutal. Laura is a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend, and we ache to know what has happened to her. Every day we live with what ifs, whys, and maybes. Laura, we love you and miss you. You have a loving family waiting for news. Please, please be in touch. Do you think she's alive? Unless they can tell us about um, some sort of like she was depressed or she was having arguments with her family or something, then I don't think it's sad as it is to say, I don't think she ran away unless they can find something that links that together. Yeah, that's a photo of Laura right there. She sort of looks like that alternative chick. She has the piercings and the short cropped hair. She sort of looks like that kind of rocker girl. Let's have a look. 23-year-old Laura Harworth. See, here's an article from there's an article from 2020, and I wonder if this has the Summer Nats thing in it. This one definitely has more information here. There's a photo of her there, and here is another photo, a more brighter photo of her face. It says here, among the 2,600 people on the long-term National Missing Persons Register in Australia, the case involving Canberra's Laura Harworth is one of the most perplexing for police. She was last seen on January 5th, 2008, leaving a friend's house in Queanbeyan. Her bright red Mazda 121 sedan was found 2 weeks later on January 19th, 2008, at Canangran Court car park in Reid. Her phone and handbag were missing. There's been no activity related to her phone or her bank account. It says that she had a caring family and 2 young dependents whom she adored. So she had children, and I don't think she would have just run out on them. Her children were 3 and 4 at the time and are now teenagers. From her family's perspective, there was not the slightest suggestion that the young mother had any reason to simply disappear. Her Mazda, which is still held by police at Exhibit Center, was thoroughly forensically examined, but no details of that examination and what it may have yielded have been shared with her mother. Having a personal vehicle from which to possibly draw forensic leads is unusual among long-term missing persons, most of whom leave few exhibits, especially one the size of a car. They must have something. To hold that car for 2006, 2009, no, sorry, 2008 to 12, 15 years. They've held that car in the exhibit center for 15 long years. There must be something. And then they're coming out with this Summer Nats information asking, and I've heard them ask for that before. There must be something here. They just can't, they don't have enough pieces of the puzzle to put it all together. It's how upsetting for her family. There's another different photo of Laura. We've got a couple more minutes and then I gotta leave and love you, okay? There's her mum, by the way. Her mum must really want to know what happened to their daughter. Oh, is she speaking? She's early. Oh, she did? Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you. She sent me an email. Sorry, it didn't come up. Oh, okay. All right, guys. We can go we can go a little bit longer if you guys want to keep talking about a couple more things. Yeah, I read it. It's okay. It's all good. I'm caught up. Woos, is that Kanangara Court? Is that the same place that guy who stabbed the zookeeper was from? Is that the same area? Hold on, I want to read this. Leisha says, "Leave and love you." Such a heartbreaking ping. Yeah. So another person trying to taint someone's rep by claiming she disappeared and joined some kind of cult. I don't think she did. I don't think she ran away. I think she's still in Canberra. I was trying to dip. Yeah. Um. Hey, Robin Lane. Happy New Year to you, my friend. I I think there's something there between the Summer Nat thing, her car. Because why? If the police thought that car was junk and had no forensic value, there's no way they're going to keep it for 15 years for some missing person that they have no idea they'll ever get an answer to. Like, do you know what I mean? I just don't. I've seen police throw out things way more valuable than that. That's not needed. So there's something there with the car, and then asking about this car festival that was on the same weekend. I was trying to find you another article, but an older one that mentioned that same link or that same appeal for information from the Summer Nats people, but I can't find it. But they definitely have because I've read that story before. Let's see. Where is this case? Come here. These are great photos of Laura, though. Some of these I've never seen before. Especially this one up here with her with the shorter, curlier hair, a bit more wavy, and with her eyes a little more open. She's got very nice eyes, this lady. Let's see. 23-year-old's last seen on January 5th. Yes, Laura Harworth. Actually, ACT Police had their own article. This is the ACT Police website. Police renew appeal for information about missing Laura Harworth. There's her car too. An old Mazda 121. Sits here. Detective Senior Constable Shannon Pugsley from the ACT Policing Criminal Investigations urged anyone who has information surrounding Laura's disappearance, including those who are visiting from interstate for someone that's 21, to come forward and speak to investigators. Police don't just say these things for fun. There's something that they want, and I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't even know. But there's something to do with this because they're targeting people not from Canberra, people who are not from local. They want people from maybe from Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, South Australia. Here, we believe there are people in the community and surrounding areas that have information about Laura and her movements that weekend in January 2008. Given Summer Nats was also taking place in Canberra at the time Laura was last seen, there may be people who are visiting from interstate who may have information. Yeah, there's something odd there. It says here, Laura's family thank those who have already provided information and encourage anyone else with information to report it to Crime Stoppers. I was reading the other day about cold cases, and once you get past 5 years of a cold case, people's memories start to blur. And once you get to 10 years, people start to forget, like completely forget. They forget being places, they forget um, details. They just start really not remembering. And then once you get past that, um, some people just don't remember at all that they were even at the same place. Amy, thank you for the news. I appreciate it. She sent me a couple of links about Rohan Dennis. Look, I hope they find more about her for her mum's sake. The hard thing with missing person cases is probably not that Laura is missing, presumed probably dead and possibly murdered, probably murdered. It's more the fact that her mum is getting quite older, if that makes sense, and she may not be around to get the answers to what happened to her daughter. And that's the big rush sometimes in these cases. It's not so much for the victim as such because they're not coming back. It's more the fact to try and get the family answers before they go. And I hope they do for her mum's sake. I really and for her children. She's got two children who were only just out of being toddlers when she went missing. They're now finished high school. Her children. She was a mum. I find that amazing. Uh, really horrible. Hey, Bambi. What did she say? Hi, Bambi. I'll put it up on the screen. Where are you? Oh, Kananga Court is also where David Eastman lived, the guy who was charged with killing the police commissioner, Colin Winchester. Rory, get down. Bambi, hold on. Let me put this up. Bambi says, has anyone heard about the 17-year-old here in Friendsworth, Texas, shooting his two friends, killing one, and is now out on bail? Oi, get down. Crazy cat. Can you guys see the cat? She was trying to attack the microphone. Yes, we can look that up. Hold on. Let's have a look. Friendsworth, Texas. Shooting. KHOU, great website dedicated. They have a lot of true crime on KHOU. This is it says 17-year-old from Friendsworth accused of shooting friends in head, released from jail. Connor Hilton posted bond and was released from jail. His attorney said he was released on the condition that he continues seeing a therapist. Connor Hilton, 17 years old from Friendsworth, who's accused of luring two friends to his house so he could shoot them in the head, posted bond on Wednesday evening and was released from jail. Hilton's attorney said he was released, so he could see a therapist. The shooting happened on December 23rd. Ethan Riley died the next day, and Ben Bilek remained in critical condition as of January 3rd. Investigators said Hilton confessed and told them he had been wanting to kill someone for a while. He's been charged with murder and aggravated assault. The shootings happened at a home on LaSalle Street, which is in the neighborhood of FM 528. Investigators said Hilton called the two victims over to his home and was showing off a gun when he shot them. According to court documents, Hilton told investigators he convinced his mother to buy him the gun, a claim Hilton's attorney Jennifer Carpenter said isn't true. Both Riley and Billick were shot in the head. A person who was hiding in a bathroom called the police after hearing the shots. The witness also told investigators that Hilton walked by the bathroom door saying, "What have I done?" Hilton also reportedly told the police the victims did nothing to provoke the shooting. Okay, let's see what this is.
Tonight, a 17-year-old from Friendswood who's charged with shooting two friends, killing one of them, is now out on bond. Connor Hilton posted bond and walked out of the Galveston County Jail with a hoodie covering his face a few hours ago. The shootings happened back on December 23rd. Ethan Riley died the very next day while Ben Bilek remains in critical condition. Investigators say Hilton confessed, saying he had been wanting to kill someone for a while. Hilton's attorney says he was released on the condition he continues seeing a therapist.
That's a bit of a bonkers case, isn't it? You invite two of your friends over who I guess you say that, you know, you like and they're your friends, and you're like, hey, let me just shoot both of you in the head for no reason, just because I felt like killing someone. What's wrong with people? I really don't get it. Alicia says he should not be out on bond. Yeah, how did he get bond after he could be up on capital murder? That's really interesting. How did he get out? Let's have a look. Is it because he's a juvenile? Oh no, he's not a juvenile. He's over age. No, he's 17 years old, so he's under 18. Connor Hilton, 17 years old. Let's look at how he got bail. Yeah, bonds out of jail, Fox 26, Houston. How did he get bail? Oh, Fox 26 has learned Hilton posted a $1 million bond from Galveston County Jail on Wednesday. Rich parents? Hilton is accused of opening fire on his friend 18-year-old Ethan Riley and another person. Riley died a day after the shooting. Yep, we know that. There's a photo of him. There's a photo of Connor Hilton. He does not look very sad that he killed one of his friends and possibly the other. He looks quite alright with it. Let's see. Officers said he would not be returning home but would be staying with relatives at an undisclosed location in Harris County. His attorney confirmed that Hilton was under a therapist's care before the deadly shooting. She didn't know why he was seeing a therapist beforehand. In a statement to Fox 26, Galveston County Criminal Defense Attorney Jack Rody said, Texas law requires the court to set a bond amount for every criminal defendant, except for capital murder defendants and repeat felons. Connor Hilton is not eligible for a charge of capital murder and is not a repeat felon. Therefore, the court today set his bond. The Galveston County District Attorney's Office requested the bond to be set at $1 million. The court and the defendant agreed. The District Attorney's Office also requested several conditions of bond for the safety of the community. The court and defendant agreed to the requested bond conditions. Pursuant to the court's order, defendant's bond is set at $1 million with numerous conditions, including wearing a GPS monitoring device, remaining at his new residential address except for doctor's appointments and legal appointments, surrendering his passport, not accessing any social media, not coming closer than 1,000 feet of any premise where children commonly gather, not communicating with surviving victims or their families, not coming closer than 200 yards of the surviving victims or their families, not possessing a firearm, not consuming alcohol or drugs or marijuana, and not violating any state, federal, or other law. The District Attorney's Office intends to prosecute these cases rigorously. Our office cannot comment further. Oh, that was a hell of a statement to try and read. So there you go. Why is he not eligible for capital murder, though? What is capital murder in Texas? Hold on. Let's see what the requirements are. Here. A person commits an offense if the person commits murder as defined under Section 1902B. The person murders a peace officer or fireman? No. The person intentionally commits the murder in the course of committing or attempting to kidnap, burglary, robbery, aggravated sexual assault, arson, obstruction or retaliation, or terroristic threat. Nope. The person commits the murder for a remuneration or the promise of remuneration, employs another to commit the murder, basically to get paid. The person commits the murder while escaping or attempting to escape from a penal institute. The person while incarcerated, nope. The person while, nope, they're not incarcerated. The person murders more than one person. That might be it. Right now, the other person's in critical condition, but if they die, maybe. the charge could be upgraded and then his bail would be revoked. The person murders an individual 10 years of age or older, but younger than 15 years of age? No. The person murders an individual under 10 years of age? No. The person murders another person in retaliation for or on account of the service or status of the other person as a judge? No. Okay. So I guess it's this bit. Because he doesn't hit this one. Hold on. What is going on? Because he doesn't fit that. Hold on. Sorry, something got caught in my throat. Here, I think because he doesn't match this. Because there's no aggravating circumstance, I think that's why he can't get capital murder. At least from the definition that I could find under the section for capital murder. He doesn't fit into any of the other categories. And this one, he doesn't meet any of these, you know, multiplying factors here, like kidnapping, burglary, robbery, aggravated sexual assault, arson, obstruction, or retaliation. So, yeah, I know. It doesn't say that on here. It says, oh, maybe it isn't, but it doesn't have it on this thing I'm reading. Oh, that may be why. Who does it apply to? Yeah, hold on. Capital murder, Texas. Under 18. You might be right about the under 18 thing, but I know they can upgrade things or, do certain things to get it. Penal code, criminal homicide. No, that's not the one we want. Yeah, I can't find it in anything I researched, but you guys might be right. Yeah, but it might be because he is under 18, I don't know. When I searched it, like capital murder under 18 Texas, it didn't come up with anything. Let's see. It just doesn't come. Yeah, and defendants under 18 in Texas. Let's have a look. The state decides what an adult is under their law. However, Supreme Court interprets the Constitution. The Eighth Amendment forbids cruel and unusual punishment. In 2005, the Supreme Court of the United States outlawed the death penalty for individuals who committed a murder prior to their 18th birthday. A person's age at trial does not matter. The main consideration is a person's age when the person committed the offense. The court did not determine if other punishments may be unconstitutional for young offenders. There you go. That's why. Oh, I can't. Damn it. That's all right. Share here. There you go. The highlighted part. If you guys can see it. There. That's why. So I'm guessing that applies nationwide. There's nothing you can do because it's come from the Supreme Court. It says here, last year the Supreme Court also found a court violates the rights of a person under age 18 if the court imposes a life sentence without parole. At that time, Texas courts could only give a person a life sentence without parole or the death penalty for capital murder. This summer, the Texas legislature took action. The legislature changed the law to provide for a different punishment. If the person commits capital murder prior to their 18th birthday, a court can only impose a sentence of life with parole. If the person commits the offense on or after their 18th birthday, the court or jury can sentence a person to death or life imprisonment. The Eighth Amendment, like other constitutional provisions, is ever changing. These changes are coming in a number of fields, including capital murder. The states and defense attorneys must adapt as each change comes. There you go. That's the information for Texas. Yeah, can still be charged, but just not with the death penalty. I guess that's why they probably just charge him with murder or whatever the one that's not capital. So there you go. I hope that helps. Let me see if I can get another story. Guess we could. Hold on. We could do one more. I know Trish is going to come on in a minute. Do you guys want one more, or do you guys want a break before you see Trish? But thanks for bringing us that story, Barbie. I appreciate it. I didn't even hear of that one. Gambler says, today he watched... What did you watch, buddy? Today he watched 3 episodes of Interrogation Raw. I like it. One of them was about a cannibal killer, Mark Latunsky from Michigan. What a horrific case. The guy he killed was named Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon. It's delicious. Like, Homer? He always goes, Kevin Bacon. That sounds delicious. Nanalana says, Ping is at 603 subscribers. That is great. I didn't even know that, so thank you. Reggie Might Smile says, state laws used to have it, but I think recently the federal law has overturned them. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing they would have to come up with a huge chunk of money either way. All right. We're still going, Brenda. We're still going. We're still going. All right, one more. Let me see what I've got. Let's see what we've got. Maybe we got something good. I haven't heard anything about the mushroom lady, although her house was broken into over Christmas. Hey, let's look at this one. I find this hilarious. I saw this on Twitter the other day. This guy attacked the judge. I wonder if we can watch the video. This is not going to show it. Hold on, I'm just going to load it up here.
A judge attacked in a Nevada courtroom. Chaos erupting moments after what appeared to be a calm sentencing. Deober Redden, a repeat offender, had pleaded guilty to attempted battery with substantial bodily harm, but argued to Judge Mary Kay Hothus he did not deserve another trip to prison.
I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
The judge reminded Redden of his lengthy criminal record.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Still, he asked for leniency.
I feel that I shouldn't be sent to prison for a second time.
But the judge denied his request for probation.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Moments later, Redden leapt over the defense table and the bench, landed on top of the judge, and sparked a brawl with court officers and attorneys. Courthouse officials telling ABC News Judge Hothus experienced some injuries and her condition is being monitored. The marshal sustained injuries and has been transported to the hospital.
But this video, sadly, is a great example of how vulnerable judges are. If they would have had any information that he was going to do something this outrageous and violent, they either would have restrained him or even done this remotely.
Back in October, Maryland Judge Andrew Wilkinson was found with gunshot wounds in his driveway following a targeted attack. Wilkinson was rushed to the hospital, but later died of his injuries. According to authorities, a document appearing to be Wilkinson's final court order revealed the 52-year-old judge had issued a decision in a divorce believed to involve the alleged shooter.
Judges, in my view,
I think the judge made a good call. The fact that he had such small, like emotional response to being sentenced to jail, and that his request being denied, his first instinct was to go and attack a judge. What would he have done if you let him back on the street and then someone upset him, or a girl turned him down for sex or something? You probably would have killed them or beat them to death or something like that. So the judge made a great call. That guy is an absolute dumbass and a danger to society if he thinks that jumping over the thing and attacking a judge is a smart idea. He really is just not fit to be outside at this point in time. I mean, maybe later, maybe he gets some help in jail and he reforms himself at some point, but that is the best example of a judge, like, seeing something that's not quite right and then taking the opposite of what's requested and it working out very quickly. She saw the results very quickly of why he shouldn't have been on the streets. So, uh, yeah, I maybe he will be beat up in jail, possibly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's going to beat up quite a few guards and other people, probably, because his emotional response and reasoning skills are terrible. Like, he may have even had an appeal still. Some people just don't realize that what a judge says is sometimes just the first step. He could have gone to an appeal court and got an appeal heard. So, yeah. Yeah, he's just obviously got issues. Not just a judge, but a woman. I'm not even sure if he saw her as a woman, more as just someone that was keeping him from being on the outside. And I think that's what it was. Not that it was a woman or a man or an octopus, just someone keeping him from what he wanted. That's what I thought anyway. But yeah, as a woman judge, it's scary. That guy's like a, 190 kilo man. Not kilo, pound. Like a 190, 200-pound guy, big guy. Oh, yeah, what'd she read off? Like 9 felonies and 8 misdemeanors and repeat offender this, repeat offender that. I think she was right to say that the court had had enough and that he'd had far too many chances at previous crimes. Ping, look for Marshall's injuries. The judge or the other one? The court bailiff. Hold on, let me see. District Court. Let me see. I can't see any on my Google search, but maybe you would know. The Marshal, there are pics, a whole flap of his head. Oh, really? I didn't see it, but let me see if I can find it. Hmm. It's yeah, it's not showing it to me, unfortunately. Maybe I'm typing in the wrong thing. Court martial. I might have to know the guy's name, like the actual offender's name. Where is it? Debra Redden. Let's have a look. No, for some reason it doesn't want to show me, even though I've typed in 3 separate things, and it doesn't want to do it. If I find it next time, I will. Yeah, it doesn't want to show me. I don't know why. I can try Twitter, one last search, and see if it has it. Why did it do that? No. No, even when I search Twitter, it's not. Doesn't want to show me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, even when I'm in the Twitters, it just shows the judge being attacked. No injuries. Yep. Not for me. Sorry. Oh, Marshall has dislocated shoulder. No, doesn't show. What's his name? Deobra. Deobra. No. Okay, we're not having much luck with that. Yeah, it's not doing it right. Hey, love is a 4-letter word. How are you? What does she say? She says, imagine how violent he was during those domestic violence attacks on women. Yeah, did she say he had like a whole bunch of DV charges as well? How horrible. He said he was aware. Oh, she was a woman. He said, fuck, yeah. Right before he attacked. I know. Just no mental state to see his surroundings. It's just stupid. Guy has no no reasoning and no emotional response skills. Like he's just like, oh, I didn't get what I want. Oh, I should just attack them and use my strength to punish them. Like, what a brute. That's all I think. What a brute. Hey, Joe, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, by the way. Oh, okay. Thanks, Trish. I appreciate it. 11:05. Okay. 11:06 p.m. Wait, what time is that? Eastern time? What time is it now? 10:58. Okay, we're going to wrap up and I'll get you over to Trish's. There'll be about a 5-minute break or so. We went extra long tonight. Yeah, 3 of them. That's far too many. More than it should be. Leisha says all those male lawyers, court officers were caught lacking big time. I know it took a long time for someone to get there and help the female judge, right? Court officers should have been more alert. I 100% agree with you. AP, a court martial, was also injured as he came to the judge's aid and was hospitalized for treatment of a bleeding gash on his forehead and a dislocated shoulder, according to officials. Wow. One last shot at it. No, I can see the bleeding gash thing, but I can't see a photo of it. I just see like a description of it. Unfortunately, even CT. Apparently, the judge is back to work a day after being attacked. It says here in another article I can see. But I don't see any photos of the bleeding gash or anything for that poor court official. Yeah. All right, guys. I love you all. I'll leave you and love you. Robin Lane says, poor judge is going to have PTSD. She was back at work the next day. Hopefully, she's getting some care for her mental health after that, because it would be scary for her at work to sentence people. What if someone else does it, It's been a great show. Sorry for the interruptions throughout the show. But we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? We'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Hopefully Amazon turns up with my parts. But it's out for delivery, so it should come. And then we can do the show from the new room tomorrow. Until then, have a great night. Go see Trish if you want to. If not, I will be back here tomorrow night to come hang out with you all at 9 p.m. Until then, have a great evening. Be safe. And thanks, Trish, for letting me know about the times. I appreciate it. And thanks to Moonlight View for moderating tonight. To everyone else who showed up tonight, I really appreciate it. And to the people who are always on the replay crew, hey, leave a comment. I'll reply to you and see you again. Okay, we'll chat in the replay. Until then, good night.